Welcome to the pre-algebra summer review. This is review number 2, adding integers with different signs. Hopefully you've completed review number 1, adding integers with same signs, whether or not you needed the video for help. If you need the video for help for this one, you are probably not alone. This one is a little bit more difficult. So now that you remember how to add integers with same signs, let's review adding integers with different signs. This is also easy if you remember that you can't add integers with different signs. Just think of it like this. If I ask you how many boys are in the room, and there are 10 boys in the room, and 10 girls in the room, is your answer 20? No, because you can't add boys and girls. They are two different things. The same is true of negatives and positives. You cannot add negatives and positives. You actually subtract them. So let's try it. We have negative 6 plus 9. Now, for most of us, we should be able to do this in our head, and we should be able to say, all right, I've got 6 negatives and 9 positives. I have 3 more positives. 9 minus 6 is 3. I have more positives, so my answer is positive. Number 2, I've got negative 8 plus 13. I can't add them together because one's negative and one's positive. So I have 13 positives, I have 8 negatives, so I have 5 more positives. Because I have more positives, my answer is positive. So basically what I'm saying is 13 minus 8. Here I was saying 9 minus 6. So I'm taking the biggest number, or the number with the biggest absolute value, and I'm subtracting the number with the smallest absolute value. Notice that in the two examples above, the sum is positive. This is because there are more positives than negatives. Here I had 9 positives and 6 negatives. Here I had 13 positives and 8 negatives. In example 1, there are 6 negatives and 9 positives, so you subtract 9 minus 6 and you get positive 3 because you had more positives than negatives. Let's look at 3 and 4. 3 says 6 plus negative 9 equals negative 3. Notice this time that I have more negatives, so 9 minus 6 is 3, but because I have more negatives, it's negative 3. For number 4, I again have more negatives. I have 13 negatives and 8 positives. That means I have 5 more negatives than I do positives. 13 minus 8 is 5, but because I have more negatives, my answer is negative. So notice that in examples 3 and 4, the sum is negative. Obviously, this is because there are more negatives than positives. You try it. Well, I'm going to try it with you. If you're watching the video, that tells me that you are having some problems with this. And so I'm going to work them with you. So let's look at number 5. Do we have more negatives or more positives? Circle the one that you have the most of. You should have circled the 15 because we have more positives than negatives. So we're going to take 15 and subtract 8. 15 minus 8 is 7. I have more positives than negatives, so my answer is positive 7. Let's look at number 6. Number 6, I have 14 plus negative 8. Circle the one that you have the most of. Do you have more negatives or do you have more positives? Go ahead and circle that now. Hopefully you circled 14 because you have more positives. You have 14 positives, you only have 8 negatives. Let's subtract them. 14 minus 8 is 6. Because I had more positives than negatives, my answer is positive 6. Let's look at number 7. 12 plus negative 15. Circle the one that you have more of. Do you have more negatives or do you have more positives? Circle that now. Hopefully you circled negative 15 because I have 15 negatives and 12 positives. So I'll take 15 minus 12. 15 minus 12 is 3, but I have more negatives, so my answer is going to be negative. Now, if you are figuring out how to do this in your head without showing this step, that's fine. In fact, that's what I would like for you to be able to do once school starts. So you need to review them until you can do that. Number 8, negative 17 plus 9. I want you to circle the one you have the most of. Do you have more negatives or do you have more positives? Circle that now. Hopefully you circled negative 17 because I have 17 negatives and 9 positives. And hopefully you know that your answer then will be negative. So 17 minus 9 is 8. I have more negatives than positives, so my answer is negative 8. Hopefully this video helped you to recall how to add integers with different signs. So let's go ahead and turn the page. to adding integers with different signs, homework number 2. And you're going to work all 20 problems on this page, and this sheet will be due when school starts in August. Once you finish, you can move on to your next lesson.